Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Let's Chat with Tanya Lightborn. Welcome to April. I am coming out of the gates with one of my absolute favorite people in the world for more than one reason. This is Mrs. Gia Smith. She is a super mom. She is a girl mom, a mom of multiples now. If you followed the show, because I can now call it a show. If you followed the show, they say three times the charm. So we would have conversed and chatted and kikied with Gia. This is the third interview or conversation that we've had with her. Initially on Instagram, then on YouTube, then fast forward to Zedness, and now we're here in 2023. Gia,
Girl,
welcome
mother,
back.
mother, I am here.
You are here. Oh my
I am
goodness.
here.
Wow. It's so good to have you. I mean, outside of seeing you, socially, of course,
Yeah.
in the food store, working out, etc. But it's so good to have you in this space with all the blessings that you've been amassed. I mean,
Mm, mm.
oh my goodness. Welcome back. How are
It's good
you?
to be back. It is good to be back. Like you said, third time is the charm. And
I
here I am,
know.
a whole mother,
A
a
whole
whole, a
mother.
whole mother. Okay.
Listen, I am sure there are women all over the Bahamas, the Caribbean, your tribe, the I guess the groups that you're in, the communities that you're a part of, who
Mm-hmm.
are super excited, to see how this journey has evolved. So,
Indeed.
for those of you who don't know, I interviewed Gia. Was that 3 years ago? About 3 years
That,
ago.
yeah, because we were in the thick of Rona.
Oh my goodness, we were
Yeah.
in it. And
Mm-hmm.
Gia reached out to me and she said, "Hey, I know you're doing the show. Have you ever thought about interviewing women who aspire to be moms?" And at that point, of course, I had already swan dived into interviewing moms who were, doing it, who were inspirational, aspirational, who had kids and were telling their stories. And I really never thought to speak to a woman in waiting, I guess is what we could say. I never thought to do that. And when I really thought about it, I said, you know what? Why shouldn't I? Because, these topics are so taboo. Like nobody talks about, they tell you to get pregnant, of course. Go have kids, get married, go have kids.
Okay. Right
But
away.
nobody right. So nobody talks about, well, what happens if that can't happen or it doesn't happen?
Exactly.
Or you have been on a journey and it's, you've had hills and valleys, etc. So nobody really talks about that. Or we talk about it in our circles and it's very hush hush. But nobody really, um, nobody dives into it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I feel like Gia and I opened that conversation. We started that conversation.
I
And
believe you right. We did
yeah,
something. We did a thing.
yeah, we sure did. And
We did a
the
thing.
response was so good.
Indeed, it was.
Yeah.
Because putting yourself out there with something that's so taboo, you don't
Yes.
know what you can get. But I
We
was just
really
so
don't.
happy with the response and the warm welcoming and the embrace and the me too. And thank
Yeah.
you for sharing. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, I
Hmm.
imagine that. Well, it is scary. Anytime you step out of your comfort zone, they say a comfort zone is a great place, but nothing ever grows there. And anytime
Exactly.
you step out of your comfort zone, it is intimidating. It is scary. You don't know how people
Mhm.
will perceive you. But I remember, I will never forget our initial Instagram live session. We were there for 2 hours. In fact, I remember not having a ring light and
Girl.
the sun had gone down, man.
Mhm,
We
mhm,
were we
mhm.
we
That turned into 2 hours easy. We could have even
correct.
gone 2.5, maybe even
Correct.
3. It was just
Mhm.
so much to open up and
For
so much
sure.
to discuss.
So
Mhm.
much feedback, and then of course you received feedback
Mhm.
after doing that as well. And then
Exactly.
the second time we interviewed, or the second time we spoke, we did it in person,
Yep.
just before those variants came reared their ugly heads.
Woo!
And so we were able to do that, and that was so well received as well. And so now I feel like your journey has come full circle. I mean, I call this a prayer answered. So,
Indeed. Indeed.
tell us about your most recent blessing
Wow. Well,
and your journey,
blessings.
and your journey, of course.
Yes, yes, yes. Blessings. I am now a girl mom to 3 girls. My goodness. Tanya,
Wow!
look at me. Look
Look
at
at
me,
God.
girl. Three,
Woo!
three, listen, 3 little balls of energies with different personalities and
Mhm.
huh, basically 3 me's is
Wow!
what I'm dealing with.
They
Yeah.
say God has a sense of humor, eh?
Oh, he certainly does because when I tell you during that first ultrasound and my OB was like, because initially he was like, "Oh, you have twins." I was like, "Really?" Okay, girl. I was like, okay, you know, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. And
Yeah.
I was just there thanking God because it was a long, long, long road because I am not in my 20s. I'm not even in my 30s. So to be a first time mother in my 40s. So only after now when he's measuring sizes and whatnot. And then just as he about to be done, he was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute, what? So I'm starting to panic now. Oh, God, something wrong, something wrong. I
Yeah.
know it's too good to be true. And he was like, there's 3. I said, 3 what?
Ah,
Because then that turned into something totally different.
wow.
And what you mean it's 3? I said, 3 what? He was like, 3 babies. And the tears of joy kind of like dried up. And then I started to laugh. And I ain't talking about no little when I say this big boisterous laugh was coming out of my throat that I could not control, it was like I, I'm a manic attack because I was like, 3?
Wow.
No, no.
Amazing, Gia.
Girl, listen. And he let me laugh for about 5, 10 minutes because there was nothing. What else was I was supposed to do? I didn't know what else to do but laugh because
Wow. Wow.
okay,
Wow. Wow.
I'm
Wow.
supposed to have none. How I get 3? What? Let me
Wow.
do that.
That's
So,
that. Okay, God.
girl, look at God is correct. He has a sense of humor because he was like, "Oh, you've been crying, you've been praying, you've been
Yeah.
fasting. Okay,
Correct.
then. All right, then. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, okay, okay. All right, God. He dropped a little salt, mayo,
I
and there. He's like,
know.
okay, three,
Like, let me give
three.
you triple for your trouble.
Listen, when we exceedingly and abundantly. That's what he did for me in 2022. That's what he did,
Wow.
exceedingly and abundantly.
Whew. Whew. I have to
Right?
exhale on that. So for those of us, or for our audience who's watching, who has never heard just a snippet of your story, can you share your journey to motherhood?
Um, the journey to motherhood started, you know, 14 years ago. I dealt with fibroids,
Yeah.
with endometriosis, more specifically endometriosis of the ovaries, meaning
Mhm.
that I had huge cysts on my ovaries that basically were like the lining of the uterus and it shed during my cycles and
Mhm.
painful. Okay. So that was a rule within itself. So it it was a lot, you
Yeah.
know, dealing with medical issues is a lot. And then, wanting to become a mother and it's not happening, it's
Mhm.
even more added to the pot. And watching everyone around me, have a baby and then move on to their second baby, and I still waiting on the first. And, I'm just getting older and older. And, we decided that, we would be open to adoption.
Mhm.
So, we tried that route, and, it didn't work. And, we eventually got, I wouldn't say it would be an opportunity, but, a blessing came to us
Yeah.
where, we were able to adopt, I guess you could call it via surrogacy,
Mhm.
where she was carrying, but, she did not want the baby. She wanted us to carry. I mean, wanted us to, raise the baby as our own. And
Mhm.
at first we were skeptical
Yeah.
because I'm like, is this even legal?
Right? Because people
How do
argue
we
like
how
people
do we
don't
do
know.
this?
Right.
Yeah, how is this even gonna be done?
Mhm.
So, look at it from the legal aspect. And, we all parties came to an understanding that okay, we would take care of prenatals, take care of, labor and delivery, and
Mhm.
then she would turn the baby over to us upon birth. And we had gone to, I think that was about the 14-week visit.
Mhm.
And I was inside with her, and my husband was in the car waiting. And she went into the room, and about maybe 10-15 minutes later, she came back,
Mhm.
and he said, we have to do an ultrasound. So I said, why? I said, we're not due for an ultrasound yet.
Right.
So she said he was unable to find a heartbeat, you know,
Oh wow.
and he just wants to make sure everything was okay. So I was like, okay. And just our luck, the ultrasound tech had just went to lunch. So we have to sit and wait now for a whole hour. So
Oh boy.
I'm there, just waiting. My knees are knocking together because I'm like, okay. Because we really thought it was it. Like, okay, I'm unable to carry, not able to have our own, and here it is, someone is willing to, give us a blessing.
Yeah.
So I literally had all my eggs in this one basket thinking, this was my chance at motherhood.
Wow.
So only the ultrasound tech came. He came back from lunch and, took us into the room. And I'm
Mhm.
sitting in the corner with these cupcakes in my lap because, I brought it for the OB, to introduce myself, but like, she carried my baby, you
Yeah.
know? So I'm sitting there with these cupcakes in my lap, and he's doing the ultrasound, and our affairs were confirmed, and the baby was no longer alive. And she would have to go to labor and delivery at PMH and, you know, basically have a baby that was no longer living.
Oh my.
So that right there, when I tell you that was rough.
That had to
That
be.
was mm-hmm, that was rough. That
Wow.
that feel like yesterday.
Mhm.
That
I can
feels like
imagine.
yesterday.
Because here
Yeah.
it is, I mean, you're already challenged in that area.
Yes.
And then a blessing comes out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know,
Literally out of nowhere.
yeah, yeah, you receive it.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
mean, I feel like nobody really talks about, I don't know how many Bahamians take that route. I feel like it's definitely, you hear about it in the news or you hear Americans do it, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Exactly.
nobody really talks about surrogacy. Adoption, yes, and that's
Yeah.
just become a little bit more prevalent. Um,
Mm-hmm.
those things are hush hush, so you automatically just think the child is was always a member of the family. But
Yes.
adoption has definitely become an option for people. But surrogacy is, I feel like it's newer Is a huge
Yes,
option.
definitely.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so then I
Definitely.
imagine that when you receive this blessing or this news that okay, somebody wants to essentially um have you raise the child as your own, um you know
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it's responsible as well, right? Like, okay, I'm not gonna do
Mm-hmm.
anything. I'm
Definitely.
going to just and a family who I know will raise the child,
Yes.
in the prayer and
Yes.
admonition of God,
Mm-hmm.
or just raise them very well. And then
Yes. And we
that
had all
news.
these little mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We had these little announcement cards, made up and everything that we were adopting and everything, to pass
Wow.
out to everyone. And yeah.
Wow.
And
And then
then
that
just like that,
happened.
it was over. It
Wow.
was over.
And then so you went from, I mean, obviously continuing the journey. And then
Mm-hmm.
what happened after that encounter?
Well, after that, it was literally just the waiting game. We
Yeah.
had to wait, and I honestly had given up
Right.
because,
Yeah.
you know, at that time, I was still in my 30s, so we were still waiting. And
Yeah.
then I turned 40, and I was like, well, that's a wrap. That is
Yeah.
a wrap. That is a wrap. And then 41, here it is now, triplets. Won't,
One,
won't
two,
he
three.
do it? One, two, three.
I
One,
wonder.
two, three.
I know, and I'm sure we will get questions during the live stream. But What is it like to desire children, and not necessarily, of course, for your husband you want to do that, or for your partner. What is
Mhm,
it like wanting that or desiring that, and then seeing all your loved ones, your family, your friends, um, having children, your auntie, your goddy, you're the favorite,
mhm,
and you keep the
yep,
kids, you babysit, you Christmas comes and you buy all the presents, and they love Auntie Gia. What is that
mhm.
like? Because internally, I imagine it's a battle.
Yes, it is a battle. It's lonely,
Yeah,
you know, and it can consume you, and you will be caught up in this cycle of, because every month is a cycle. So
yeah,
it's every month of, doing the ovulation test, and every month of taking a pregnancy test, because you're thinking, okay, this month, that's it,
that's it.
you
That's it.
know.
Yeah,
Okay, if you 4 hours late on your next period, you're thinking, oh, that's it, we get it,
yeah,
and to take a test, and it's negative. So it can be lonely, and it can make you bitter, because now you're angry.
yeah.
You're angry at so many people. You're angry at your body
Just for
because
having a baby.
you angry at your body because you're supposed to you're supposed to know what to
Let's
do.
do this.
Okay, you
Mhm.
have all the parts. What's happening?
Yeah,
You start to resent those around you that are becoming pregnant, because you got to go to another baby shower. You got to buy another gift for somebody else baby.
yeah.
And then you get angry at God, because I mean, He made you, right. So
Hmm.
what happened? He make a mistake. What
Yeah,
happened? You dropped the ball with me.
yeah.
Why I don't have kids yet? Isn't that in your word? Isn't that what's supposed to happen?
Hmm.
So it's
And
just
these are
cycles.
all real emotions, like real feelings.
Very real, very raw emotions.
Wow.
You can become angry. You can
Yeah.
become angry.
Yeah. And so
Mm-hmm.
what do you say? I know we talked, obviously we chat before we have a live conversation, and we talked about, the woman who's in waiting, because you were in waiting for 10 plus years. What do you say to the woman
Mm-hmm.
who's in waiting? She's waiting for her gift. Um, and in some cases, like you, the gift could have been adoption, and for some that's the route that you have to take if you want to have kids. You can stop
Yeah.
at, okay, it's not working for whatever reason, this is what's happening. The alternative is adoption or surrogacy, or
Yeah.
but what do you say to the woman in waiting, um, who wants this blessing?
And also the woman in waiting there's so many things to say, be easy on yourself, you
Mm-hmm.
know, be gentle with yourself, self love is because child.
I know. I know. I know. It is definitely, I imagine it's definitely not easy.
Because you feel broken. You literally feel like something is wrong with you.
Yeah.
You feel broken. You feel
Yeah.
broken, but you are not. Okay, you are not broken. You pick yourself up and you dust yourself off because you have many options. You have lots of options out there.
Mm-hmm.
Adoption is always one, you know,
Yeah.
surrogacy. You have IVF. You have you can even foster.
Yeah.
That's also an option. You
Yeah.
know, you find what works best for you and what fills the gap for you.
Mm-hmm.
and and you make it happen. You make it happen. You don't wait for it to fall in your lap.
Yeah.
If that is what you desire, and as long as you have fight left in you,
Mm-hmm.
then you keep going. And
Yeah.
it's okay when you have nothing left to give to say, okay, you know what? I'm okay if it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
whatever it is that brings you peace, then you go with that.
Yeah.
You go with that.
I've conversed with women too who have said one of the things that was said was just don't allow yourself to you go through it of course because it's a lot of emotions, but don't allow yourself to like sit in it because you could get lost in that. We get sucked into that vortex.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
things, just remember this, you be thankful for life. There's a life to be lived, you know um,
Yep.
and do the things that you love. Yes, you're working towards those things, you and your partner or you and your husband, but remember there's a life to be lived, and do the things that you love because you never know while you're waiting, and
Yeah,
you're enjoying life, etc. You know, miracles happen.
that's right. That's right. When you least expect it. So you
Wow.
keep
Wow.
living, you keep moving, and you keep build making new experiences,
Yeah.
take those trips, you
Yeah.
know, enjoy those Sunday naps.
Mhm. Okay. Because when those children come, there will be little
Baby,
Sunday naps.
because when they come, what?
Little to
Oh,
no Sunday naps.
Lord, what I wouldn't do for a Sunday nap right about now.
Okay. Listen. So let's pivot a little
Mm,
bit because we want to talk about your little
sure.
blessings. You are now a
Oh,
girl mom.
yeah, a girl mom of three. Three
Oh,
different personalities. Oh, them pilot churn. Oh, Jesus.
they don't tell
My,
you that they will
listen.
have different
It,
personalities.
no, nope, 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 nope. That's something that you have to learn along the way. You
For
got to
sure.
learn, you know.
For sure.
So you're basically raising three different children at the same time.
Wow.
So
I
I
mean,
have to realize, okay, you know, this one like this, okay, this one like that, and okay, yeah, no, this one she off the chains, So,
oh
girl,
my
it rough.
goodness.
Tanya, you ain't want me good. You ain't want me good.
Wow.
You ain't want me good.
How do you, because I,
Excuse me.
that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
sure you've heard the stories and, oh, sleep while they're sleeping, and all the other unsolicited advice, right? Which I'm sure
Oh, child.
which I'm sure you've taken with a grain of salt. Like you take what you take,
Listen,
just go to the
but
rest.
I feel like it's just like a learn as you go kind of thing.
It really is.
Because first of all, the pregnancy within itself, ain't nobody's even tell you the things. that could possibly happen
Yeah.
during the, yeah, girl, because listen, when I tell you I had cankles from like 11 weeks, my ankle started to swell at
But
11 weeks.
think
I even
about it.
in my second trimester.
You had
I even
three
in my
babies
second.
inside you.
Girl,
Three babies?
I even have my little belly good. And that time I get fat ankles. Like,
What?
what?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Wow.
child, I wasn't prepared for that.
Do you feel like you held your breath until they were born?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I pretty much held my breath
Yeah.
until they were born because you were just waiting. I don't know. It's almost like it was unreal. So I was
Hmm.
kind of just waiting for the bottom to fall out because, I've been close before.
I know.
So, yeah. And, he was just waiting for like, okay, they, this really gonna happen? Do I
Yeah.
really, get excited? Do I really get happy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It was just kind of just like waiting, and being hopeful
Hmm.
and, just taking it as it comes, the all day sickness. Because, yeah,
Wow.
no, nausea just all day from when I woke up in the morning and I went to bed at night. And it was just a constant cycle of the nausea.
Wow.
And
Wow.
ain't nobody warned me about that.
No.
Everybody talk about morning sickness.
Yeah. They
What?
don't talk
Yeah,
about
what?
the constant.
Yeah. Okay, okay.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I thought it was just the first trimester when you deal with that, you know.
Hmm.
But in my third trimester,
Hmm.
it came back again. It spin the block on me.
I heard the second
Yeah.
trimester, because at least for me, the second trimester was the best. But some of the things you're right, absolutely right.
It
Some of the
was,
things from the first they come back to haunt you.
yeah, child. So first trimester dealt with the all day nausea. Second trimester was school.
Yeah.
The third trimester is when it spun the block on me and it turned into just vomiting. I just couldn't keep anything down.
Oh,
It was it was it was a mess.
yeah.
And I didn't like it. I didn't
No.
like it. It was very ghetto. It
Very.
was very ghetto. I didn't like
Wow.
it.
So
Yeah.
I imagine when doctor said, okay, here's the birth plan. We gonna do X, Y, and Z, or this is how we're gonna
Yeah.
deliver. We're gonna do this date. You probably were like, oh, thank you, Jesus.
Listen, listen. But the thing is, them girls had their own plan because
As they always.
we kind of pretty much knew they would come early. So
Yeah.
he was prepping me with the steroid shots for them. You
Okay.
see,
Mm-hmm.
just in case, but we
Yeah.
were aiming for 32 to 34 weeks.
Okay.
But somewhere around week 28
Oh
is
my.
when things was like, oh, uh-oh, wait, hold
Wow.
on now, because the
Wow.
swelling now had worked its way up.
Wow.
So when I say my legs, literal legs look like stuffed sausages because they were so tight and I was just swollen. I
Yeah.
had to use a walker because I could no I could no longer support my own body weight. So I had to rely on a
Mhm.
walker. And let's not talk about the adult diapers because no one tells you these things.
I was about to
Okay, no
say
one,
we
no,
really talking about multiples, about having multiples.
no
Adult
one
diapers.
said that you would have to wear adult diapers because you ain't gonna make it to the bathroom all the time.
Gia.
Okay,
What?
who
And
told me that? Nobody.
nobody.
Nobody told me that.
And just think, these kids have the heart to be rude.
When I say we will square up, okay, we will square up because I wore adult diapers for you. Okay,
Okay,
I was almost
exactly.
wheelchair bound
This is what I'm
because of you.
saying.
Okay, I had to walk up. I had to walk up. Literally, I had to use the walker because
I
I was 221 pounds. Okay,
wow.
And you know
Pre-baby
I ain't about this tall. Okay.
pre-baby weight. How much would you say you weighed?
I was 141 pounds.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
these
So
girls
at
come to test you.
5'2" and 220 pounds. Listen,
Wow.
yeah, I had to use a walker. And I was there just, the plastic from the adult diapers. So me and my walker, we just, yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. So,
I imagine the support of a partner is paramount. He's
girl,
gonna see you in
listen.
some predicaments.
Because yeah,
He probably was
I
like,
haven't I haven't yet turned,
this
and
the girl I was
this
dating? This the little thing I
okay,
was dating?
okay, this me now. Okay, so
For
you could,
better or
yeah,
for worse.
girl. So listen, yeah, the swelling came and my legs couldn't bend no more. So yeah, and then I ended up in the
Wow.
hospital needing blood. So I had 2 blood transfusions. This is around, yeah, this is about
Yeah.
28 weeks, 4 days.
Hmm.
And, needed blood transfusion, being kept in for observation. And I developed this cough. So at the time now, we still in the Rona season. So my doctor he checking on me. He was like, "You good?" I was like, "I
Hmm.
have this cough."
Yeah.
I said, "What kind of cough?" I said, "I don't know, but I don't want to people think I have Rona."
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been stifling, and he was like, "You should not have a cough." He said,
Oh
"Let's
wow.
get you in for a chest X-ray."
Okay. Okay.
Chest X-ray done. Fluid is now in my lungs.
Wow. Oh my
So
goodness,
he
Gia.
said, "These babies are coming tomorrow because if we go past that, I won't be able to do anything for anybody."
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
so we had 28 weeks, 6 days, baby's coming.
And so, ready or not,
Okay. Yeah, it's go time. It's go time. We in it. We in it. It's go time. 28 weeks, 6 days, premature baby's coming.
yeah.
So then that's a whole different ball game now because they here, they 2 pounds now. They gotta be in the NICU.
Yes.
So yes.
And
So
how much time did they spend in the NICU?
they spent
Roughly.
roughly
Yeah.
8 to 10 weeks. Yeah,
Okay.
because two of
Okay.
them came home. They came, I'd say about 8, 9, and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The oldest one,
Yeah.
she came out first. She was the largest one, but she had the most complications. So she came out at about the 10-week mark.
Okay.
But the other two, yeah, they came out at 8 weeks and 9 weeks. But the
So,
NICU
mhm.
experience, it was really good.
Yeah,
It was
because
really good.
because one of the things I wanted to chat a bit about was, of course, how you prepare for multiples. I remember you and I chatting briefly about there being a little time in between. Of course, the girls being in the NICU, and so you had some time. You and hubby had some time to prepare, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
literally
Mm-hmm.
prepare, but
Yeah.
obviously mentally prepare. They're in the NICU. You obviously go to see them every day. And at some point, like, you have to you have to talk through this, even though, again, like we said, there's no rule book.
No,
However, now you're going from 0 to 3 kids in like no time.
no time. Like walk speed. Boom, 3. Here we are. So with prepping,
Hmm.
of course you have to make sure you have the essentials. So
Yeah.
we needed 3 car seats, we needed 3 cribs. We had to make sure, you know, there was enough onesies,
Yeah.
enough, little hats and blankets and whatnot. So
Wow.
even yeah, it girl,
Yeah.
pitching.
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause everything's just expensive. And now
Expensive.
expensive times 3,
Expensive.
this expenses up.
I can imagine.
What? Expenses are because now a car seat is like what, $200? So times 3. Yeah.
And those
Yeah.
things you need. Like as
Okay.
you get older, some things you can kind of, get away with.
No,
Leaving
you.
the other ones, the sisters things or whatever, but they need
Mm,
to start. They need
yeah.
everybody needs their own.
Ain't no hand me downs around here. No hand me downs. Everything just you just buy it right up front, and then now when you ain't need them no more, then see, girl,
Wow. So that's
child.
been, you guys went from basically, after years of trying, receiving your blessings, they came early. And so
Mm-hmm.
fast forward to them being home. What's it been like swan dive or getting baptized in
What?
by fire
Listen,
into
baptism
motherhood?
by fire. I could not have said it
That's
any
the
better.
best way I can describe it. That's what it is.
Baptism by fire. And ain't no manual, no instruction manual.
Oh
It's
no.
come. So you just have to figure out what works for you because
Mhm.
luckily one came home first.
Okay.
So okay, it was just, us and her. And
Yeah.
it was rough because she was getting up like every hour to 2 hours. So that
Yeah.
first night we didn't know whether we was coming or going.
Listen.
I was like, what in the world? And then, they were loud sleepers. So you're thinking somebody is awake, but she's sleeping, but she just like she sounded like a pterodactyl, like a little
No
dinosaur.
way.
Okay, it was Jurassic Park in here. So you hear it and you pitch it up thinking, oh, she needs something, and you go to the bassinet and the child is sleeping, like
Knockout.
knocked out.
It's so
So
interesting that people can tell you their experience. So, oh, this and that. And your child is just
okay, because
boring.
all the little mom groups on Facebook, oh, my newborn is sleeping 12 hours a night. What? Where you get that one from?
Wow.
Amazon? I have a Prime account.
Okay.
Because what? Yeah, no. So the first one came home and we were getting up every hour to 2 hours and she wanted a bottle every
Mhm.
2 hours. And when we went back to visit the others in the NICU, and it was like, oh, how's Gian doing?
Yeah.
And I was like, she getting up every 2 hours. They said, nope, don't you let her do it. She's accustomed to eating every 3 hours.
Yeah.
You train her. Don't let her swindle you. I was like,
Wow.
the newborn babies is swindle you? And
Oh,
sure
and
enough,
they still do. They still do because I have a 4-year-old and she's still trying to swing us.
listen, the newborn baby was swinging us because she figured, okay, she crying every 2 hours of me feeding her. I can keep
Mhm.
doing that. The nurses was like, no, no, no. Put your foot down. You stress
Wow.
every 3 hours. So we started giving
Really?
her pacify and we made sure that she ate every 3 hours. And she caught on. Then
Yeah.
the second one came in and
Hmm.
the Jurassic Park got louder because there's now two of them now. Girl, we had to come up with a game plan dead fast.
I'm
So
serious.
we had to split our shifts. So I'll stay up for the first shift.
Hmm.
Hubby goes to bed.
And these shifts are what, 12 hours?
No,
This sounds like Grey's Anatomy.
girl, listen. Now we have the nanny during the day. But
Okay.
when it comes to the night shift,
Hmm.
he goes to bed at about 8 o'clock and
Okay.
then he sleeps till about 1 a.m.
Okay.
So I'm up, back and forth and
Yeah.
doing the feedings and whatnot. And
Yeah.
then I go to bed at 1 a.m. and then
Okay.
he gets up and then he does that shift until
And
he
and
goes to bed.
are you both back at work at this point?
Yeah, Cal.
Gia,
Whew, that's another level of exhaustion. But you make it happen. You keep going.
correct. You
You keep
make it
going.
happen.
Hmm.
And
You
it
make
keep
it
and
happen.
it doesn't stop
Nope,
because
it
it's
does not
almost like
stop
a
because everyone is like, how
new
you
level activated.
we know we making it. We just making it though.
I remember my first 6 weeks with one. How was
Girl.
your first 6 weeks?
Girl. Mm, it was rough. Girl, I told you, man, I was tired.
You,
I was
I don't
tired,
think
man.
you probably never knew tired before this.
No, it was a whole level of tired. And then, when you having family come around, when we coming around, and no, you have to do it like this, No, I'm not doing it like that. You gotta find your own, and girl,
And you have to stand your grounding.
yeah, girl.
I had to
Child, it's
stand
like 1981 when you was dealing with me. No, this girl.
it's a different time.
Yeah,
Different generation. The
what?
children are different.
Yeah.
I remember my aunt, God rest her soul. She and I went back and forth on sprinkling what you call it, dust in the bottle.
Oh, girl.
I was like, I am breastfeeding. I do not want to, or at that, well, I was breastfeeding. Yeah. So she was, water don't stay on hill.
But what does that even mean? What
You
do
have
you
to
mean?
dust the bottle. She's not getting full. I remember her saying that to me like yesterday.
Girl.
Went back and forth until I guess she just gave up. Until I
Okay.
finally dusted the bottle then.
Yeah.
And I was able to say to her, okay, I've started dusting the bottle.
Girl,
And you got a
listen.
lot of you got unsolicited advice times
Okay.
2.
And then let's talk about the paper bag on the forehead with the hiccups. Okay.
So
The,
needless to say, the transition into parenting
yeah.
was
Yeah. It was an experience.
mm-hmm.
But we did it. We found what works for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because child, in the middle of the night, only me and him in here.
That's
So we
fine.
gotta do what works for us.
Everybody gone home. And
Oh,
all the calls are done for the night.
yeah,
And it's just
yeah,
y'all
child.
5, party of 5.
Okay, that's what it is. Party
Wow.
of 5.
Wow.
Got a baby? Yeah, that's what.
Oh.
Trying to bring a baby or 2 or 3 on
Oh,
here.
yay!
Yeah.
So, are we bringing the girls?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So this is what do we call it? This is their debut.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is
Girl,
their
listen,
debut,
Sean. Yeah,
never
girl.
before seen. I feel so special.
I know, girl,
I'm
wouldn't have it
actually
any other way.
okay.
All right, you're the originator. Okay, you gave me a platform. You gave me the soapbox, girl.
I promise y'all, when Gia told me that she was pregnant, I think you sent me that message and I called you.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. I was sitting with my husband and I was so I could have cried tears of joy. I was like, what?
I know.
So I
I
was
know.
holding my breath with you.
Girl, listen. What? Mm-hmm. Yes, child.
So introduce us to the little ones, all the princesses.
Girl. Come on, you coming right back. But if you ain't
Okay,
come back, you have no children. So we got to chit chat,
let's chit chat some more.
tell the
So
pilot.
I know the pilot you're in. So now, so your new life, you're in your 40s.
Yeah.
They say life begins at 40, and literally your life has begun.
Mm.
Or
This is a new life now. This
it's
even
a new
ain't the
life.
same life how it was before. This is a new life now because before I had Sunday naps and brunching and we had,
Okay.
lots of date nights and whatnot. So, oh,
And here comes your new life. Look. Oh my goodness. Look. Uh-huh. Too cute. And who is this?
girl, wait, hold on. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
This is Gianni.
Hi, Gianni.
Hey,
She's like, oh my
girl. Oh,
Who is this? Uh-huh.
wait.
Uh-huh.
Okay, all right then. Okay.
Oh, so cute. Hi, Gia.
Hi,
Wow.
Tanya.
How old are they now, Gia?
9 months now.
9 months. Oh my goodness.
Girl,
Before when
girl, that's
you
really
leave,
how we
they're
catching
gonna
up
be
on your show. Okay.
it's okay. It's okay. We're used to it.
No behavior.
You know,
No behavior.
you know. Is Gianni the first to come out?
She's the middle.
She's the middle. Okay.
She's the middle child. Hey, girl.
And
Hey.
is there a thing? Do they have a thing where if one cries, everybody cries?
Yes. It's contagious.
Oh wow.
It is
Wow.
contagious.
Oh
Hey,
man. It's
girl.
going so
Hey.
well.
Hey. Hey, mama. Okay.
What is this? What is this, mommy?
What's happening? What is it? What?
He's ready
Okay.
to talk.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And bring me.
Ready to talk.
Hey, girl.
Oh
All
boy.
right.
No.
And Mrs. Deanne.
Are they identical or fraternal?
Yeah. No, these
Yeah.
are identical.
Oh my
Hey.
goodness. Wow. Same face. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh. Daddy's swooping in with,
Mm-hmm.
with the magic touch.
There we
Oh my
go.
goodness. And so Gianni, give us their
Yeah.
name.
This is Gianni,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is Gianne.
You know, you know what's gonna happen.
And it'll be plenty mix up, child. Plenty mix up.
Correct. Yeah.
Plenty mix up. Even
Plenty
now, it's like who you is? Wait, hold on. But luckily, Gianni has a little scar on her left wrist. Yes, you're Gianni.
who
Yeah,
you
she has a little scar on her left wrist. So when I ain't too sure, I just grab her wrist. I'd be like,
Right.
okay, I'll use Gianni. Yeah.
That's who that okay.
Mm-hmm.
What is prep
Man,
time like
you know
when
what?
it's time to go out?
You know what? I can send you to your daddy. Go to
Oh,
your daddy.
she don't feel
Come
like
for
that.
this one.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, a whole handful.
Oh,
Okay. Babe. Okay.
She's
Because
not
you don't
having
even know why you're crying. Okay, I'm sorry. Did I offend you? Okay. Bring me Leia and then just carry Miss Cranky Pants. You want me to take one from you now? No, so we'll be all three. And then you can take it.
Oh boy.
And then this is Jalea.
Hi, Jalea. Oh my goodness. Wow, so precious, Gia.
Right,
Definitely blessings for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Blessings for sure. Oh my
All
goodness.
right.
Woo.
All
Wow.
right.
Yes. Oh wow.
Hey.
Is she the quietest?
Yes.
Okay.
Say
Look,
hi.
she's looking around like what's happening?
Okay, she's like, what's his life? What's happening here?
Listen.
What's happening?
Okay.
Ma'am. Okay. See,
What
if they don't cry.
What is prep time like when you have to go out of the house?
Whew. Going out. Okay. I'll give you a joke.
Oh.
Listen, everything is just a whole production. Okay? I have to prep from the night before.
Yes.
Laying out outfits.
Okay.
Yeah, because we can't just, it's no being spontaneous.
Mm-mm.
No spontaneity. None of that. It has to be prepped.
Wow.
And then I need at least an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah.
To get them ready.
An hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then you have to get ready.
Yes, exactly. And then they have this thing now when their pampers are freshly changed and they have on pretty clothes. Yeah. Somebody got to poop. Yeah. So it's at this point, when I get there, I get there.
Yeah.
Today we did very good because today was the pediatrician appointment at 1 o'clock, and we
Yes.
got there like 1:10, which was
Oh
excellent.
my God. But
Okay.
but you started prepping like, I don't know, 10 a.m., 8 a.m.
Listen. I prepped the night
Well, you
before.
prepped the night before, yes.
Yes, and then I threw some extra stuff in the bag when I got this morning because I did have to go to work. So yeah, I went to work, saw
Okay.
a couple of patients, and
Mhm.
came home, changed really quickly, and we headed out the door because the nanny she had them changed and waiting and
Okay.
ready to go.
You are definitely superwoman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So Gia, lastly, your day, what time does your day start?
My day starts at about 5:15.
Okay.
Yeah, about
Mhm.
5:15. So I run
Yeah.
off of, yeah, you can take that now. I run off about 4 hours of sleep. Yeah.
And it'll get better.
Yeah.
It'll get better because eventually you get into a rhythm, you learn them, their
Hmm.
personality, what works, what doesn't,
He's
sleep
gonna come back
patterns,
free.
etc. She's like, no, you did not just leave me.
He gonna come back for you.
Wow. Wow.
Ooh,
Mm,
Lord.
that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, little blessings.
Okay. Do
Little.
you see you? Do you see you on the camera?
I
Do you
know.
see you?
Like, oh my gosh, this has never happened before.
Do you see you?
Oh, no.
Mhm.
Oh man, this feels like a full circle moment.
It
Full.
surely does. It surely does. Okay, he gonna come back for you.
Like, Daddy, where did you go?
You see, with the whole doctor's visit and thing, nap time really didn't happen.
Yeah. So they
They
missed
slept
nap
in the
time.
car.
Okay. And that was probably what, a cat nap?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
However long it took for us to get from Collins Avenue to the west.
Yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure that. But
Huh?
thank God for small blessings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
so happy that you guys have received what God had for you. And He gave you triple for your trouble.
Because I was not expecting. I would have been happy with one.
Yeah.
One. Okay. I'd have been like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
You fulfilled your word.
Mm-hmm.
One. But here I am with three. So now I'm like, you're just running out now. You running out. You run out.
Like,
Okay.
well, this is what you asked for. One
Did I
of those
really
types
ask for
of
three at the same time though? Did I really? But here we are. You
right.
know, here
Be
we are.
careful what you wish for because you just
Right?
might get.
Okay. Yeah.
Gia, this has been amazing. I'm so happy we got to meet the girls. Oh my goodness. So, for
Uh-huh.
anyone who is watching this episode, feel free to revisit older episodes. In fact, I think what I will do is probably link the previous two episodes where we talked and had an opportunity to just kind of converse about you know women's issues and infertility. The April is Women's Infertility Month. And
Yes, it is.
so I think that, I mean, of course, there are the conversations are continuous, but I feel like there needs to be more awareness brought, more conversations, not
Mm-hmm.
so taboo topics,
Exactly.
to help women feel like it's okay to talk about it and somebody else is going through it, etc. And
Mm-hmm.
I
You
also
need
know,
support. You need
yeah,
support. You know?
yeah. I also remember during one of our episodes that you had spoken about support for the woman who's going through and what type of support you would have had. Of course, family and friends, but I mean outside of that.
Yeah. YouTube was like my biggest thing.
Okay.
When we first started out YouTube, I just went
Hmm.
in and
Okay.
typed in, infertility,
Mm-hmm.
and women just started to pop up, and more specifically women of color, Black women.
Right.
That's
Wow.
that's who I wanted to see, because
Yeah.
I needed to know it wasn't just me.
Mm-hmm.
And then Instagram came along, and then that's a whole nother community.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So YouTube, Instagram, find your people. There are a lot of women out there that
Yeah.
are going through the same thing, and you just you know we're a community, and you just ask questions, and you find answers. You
Yeah.
find suggestions if you're wanting suggestions, because sometimes you just want to feel like you're not alone. You're not
Yeah.
necessarily looking for someone to tell you to try something that you've already tried. you
Right.
know
Right. And I imagine that by the time, I mean, of course, you're now settled into your new life. I imagine that these your communities or your tribe, they reached out to you like, oh my goodness, you have
hmm
3 babies. Like they must have been
yeah,
ecstatic.
yeah, indeed, because when you're in the community, you kind of rejoice now with someone who that's been in the struggle with you.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you know
Yeah.
if she get her baby, then
Yeah.
okay, I feel
I
like,
get mine.
I
Yeah.
yeah, yes.
Wow. That
hmm
must have been them. I mean, you must have had an influx of calls and messages and just,
hmm
you know,
hmm
I'm sure.
Sure did. Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure
I'm
did.
sure it was overwhelming, but in a good way.
Definitely in a good way. And it definitely took some adjusting, you know, with being a first time, mother, and then, dealing with infertility for so long. I literally had to take a step back. I couldn't get to every message, couldn't respond to every WhatsApp. I just had to
Wow.
take time to process and let it all sink in.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And did you question? Did you share right away that you were pregnant with the girls?
No,
With your
I
community?
no, I did not.
Mm-hmm.
I did not, because it was, like I say, it was taking time to process everything, and you just you I guess you're on guard, and you just wanna be in a cocoon, be like, okay, let me
Yeah.
just get through this process.
Like
And
protecting yourself.
yes, yes. So I just, protected myself, protected, my girls.
Yeah.
Of course I told my village, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
the support and the prayers were much needed and much appreciated. But in terms of, social media and,
Yeah.
the community that came
Mm-hmm.
after, because
So
even I went through the pregnancy. Even, with the girls being in NICU, I didn't announce on Facebook till that was maybe September, October. Like,
right.
hey, Smith party at 5. There you go.
Yeah. But some things you need to keep sacred, you know?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah. And
definitely.
like I said, I feel like, I mean, if with anything, if you're the average woman or just a woman who's been through some, through some experiences, you just want to hold on to that and until you can see it through,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
make sure
hmm
everything is percolating,
Yeah.
everything is you're healthy and you're doing well, and then share,
Yes.
because I
Yes.
feel
Yes.
like
Yes.
we're in an environment where it's a lot of oversharing.
Yes.
Um, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So definitely, wanted to hold this one sacred. It wasn't, didn't mean anything by it to offend anybody, but it was just something that I felt that I had to do. Oh,
Yeah.
she didn't even tell me she was pregnant. Okay, sorry.
I
Be
mean,
happy for me
people do it all
nonetheless,
the time.
though. Okay.
Well, then you know where you stand if you didn't get the memo. I mean,
You weren't at the shower? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
right. So, fast forward to 2023, you have 3 little blessings, and we are super